Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here with another wig review. I'm going to review for you today a wig called Amor Mono in the color Hot Mocha Rooted, which is 830.27.33. This is a collaboration between a company called Trendy and Villa from the Stimulate collection. So Amor Mono Hot Mocha Rooted. I would like to thank Continental Wigs in the UK for sending me this hair. I have worked with Continental Wigs before. We've collaborated on a few wigs now, and I love working with them. I've also purchased from them, so I'm also a customer of theirs, and they ship to the United States. It's great. No issues whatsoever. If you use the code heywigsister, which will be in the description, you will get free shipping, and I believe there's an expedited shipping option that you can choose with that gets the wig to you actually quite quickly. I've had wigs get to me within 3 days from them. I've also had them take a little bit longer than that. Kind of depends on the time of year and what's going on, but it's really slick. I also think I just saw on their website that when they show the prices, they now also show what that equivalent in US dollars is, which is fantastic because they use the pound sterling system there. And so if I'm not remembering that correctly, all you have to do is go online and Google their pound sterling price and what is that to US dollars to try to get a sense of how much it's going to cost. Their prices are very, very competitive. Very competitive. I've been able to I've actually purchased a girl mono from them that I was able to find cheaper there than anywhere else here. This was quite a while ago, but I definitely recommend them. So I wouldn't be representing them here if I didn't. All right, so let's talk about this wig. First of all, I'm not quite sure of the relationship between Trendy and Villa. So this one has an Villa tag in it and all of those things, but it sounds like this Simulate line is only available through the Trendy line. So you can get it on the Continental Wigs website though, but you can't get this wig here in the United States, at least not right now during the filming of this video. Really the only place that you can purchase it that I found was, there's maybe a couple of other UK sites that I'm not familiar with. Continental Wigs has it though. So let's take a look at her from all sides. I am going to compare her to Turn, just so that you guys will be able to see, because you might be thinking, gosh, how does she compare to Turn? I love these curls. You're probably not surprised by that. I absolutely love these curls. They are adorable. So, really cute curl pattern, sort of just cute length. I'm really, really enjoying this very much. And, I worried a little bit because I thought the length might be a little too short for me, but I'm really liking it. So before I get too much into the wig, let's look at this color. Hot Mocha Rooted. Very beautiful. Auburn brunette, I would say. So let's get that tag. 830/27/33. So all of those colors are sort of in the auburn range. 27 is kind of like a strawberry blonde. 33 is like a medium dark brunette. 830 is sort of that hot kind of fiery kind of auburny color. So it's just really beautiful. It's not super loud or bold. It's just a subtle, beautiful auburn. And then it's rooted, so you've got like the darker brunette rooting, but it's really well done. It's very subtle. It just sort of kind of darkens up at the root a little bit, gives it a little bit of warmth. Super pretty. I will get outside so that you can see this color outside. I'm enjoying it tremendously. I really like it a lot. I actually will be honest with you right now, I'm thinking I like it a little bit more than the chocolate mix that I have turned in. So it's a really, really pretty color. All right, so how is this wig constructed? It has a lace front, it has a mono part, and it has a lot of really cute layering. So you see in the front here, it's got a little bit of a bang. It's a little bit of a long bang. It's not enough for me to wear it straight down, but the way they've cut it is it swoops to the side really well and then acts like a bang. If you wanted this to be a full bang, it's very, very easy to just trim off a little bit here. And I say that as someone who doesn't cut hair and doesn't do that very well, but I look at how just a couple of little snips and I think I'd have it. So if you want to cut bangs in this one, you can, which is wonderful because sometimes with these super curly wigs, cutting bangs can be tricky. It can be hard to get them to lay right, but it swoops to the side so well. It really doesn't bother me. It's not been hanging in my face or eyes. It's actually really styled perfectly. And then with these beautiful curls, it's definitely a curly wig, and the curls are all throughout. It just frames and lays perfectly. It doesn't feel overwhelming to me at all. It has very, very little permatease, if any. So I can feel a tiny bit of crimpy fibers. It does not have poofy permatease. If you have turn or girl mono, similar construction as to both of those. I can feel through to cap. I don't feel any poofiness, but it's definitely got a little bit of crimpy fibers because see how she's got this rounded look? A little bit of permatease, just the littlest amount, will help lift it off the cap and make it so that it lays really pretty. And this one really, really does. It's just super lightweight, definitely on the shorter side. It kind of hits me just at chin length in the longest layers, and the rest of them kind of go up from there. I'm going to give this a comparison to turn, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I think I like the style of this one better than turn. I like the roundness of it. I like how the bangs are. Turn's bangs are a little bit longer. I just think this one's a little bit more flattering on my face. I just think I like it better than turn, actually, to be honest with you. So let's take a look at this cap. I did already take pictures comparing the two, and so at the end I will give you a side-by-side look at the two of them so that you can see how they look side by side, because it's really hard to do it when I switch. So there you go. It's just got your standard lace front mono part. It's a typical Ellen Wille cap. You know, it's got the nice soft ear tabs with the metal stays in them. It has an extended nape. It also has Velcro adjusters. Just great. I love Ellen Wille caps. They fit me perfectly. So I have a 22-inch circumference, and you'll often hear people say that Ellen Wille won't fit someone with 22 inches. I haven't really had trouble with any of the Ellen Wille wigs I've had fitting me. So look at my measurements. They fit me really, really well. I know some people who've gotten them with 22.5 inches and say they will fit them. Part of that is your comfort level. Do you like wigs to be a little snug? Do you like them to be loose? We're all a little different that way. They definitely have a little bit of stretch, and I just find them to be super comfortable. I don't get any extra cap in Ellen Wille wigs. They truly, they fit me like they were made to fit my personal measurements. So I just love them. The coverage is decent. You can see a little bit of my bio hair here, which is really typical. That's really typical for me. The ear tabs come just in front of my ears. I would say the coverage is good enough. It's standard. Most wigs cover, if I consider the majority of wigs I wear, they cover me similar to this. This one does have a lace front. Make sure it's up far enough. Ellen Wille lace fronts are really good. They do tend to be a little light, so I feel like I can see that. It's a little lighter than my skin. And so what I tend to do with Ellen Wille wigs is I tend to trim that lace. I use a pinking shears. I have a Tip Tuesday on that, how to trim the lace with the pinking shears. It gives it a little bit of a wavy look, which I think is way more realistic than cutting it straight across, especially because I adhere them with its stays. Sometimes that pressure of the adhering gives a line of demarcation where that lace is. When you've got the pinking shear wave, you don't see that. So I'm a fan of that, and I do tend to trim my Ellen Wille wigs because I find the lace to be just a little bit light for my skin tone. And so It's easy to do. Go see my Tip Tuesday if you're curious. This one, you really can't see that lace much because of how these bangs sort of hang down. But I mean, if you wanted to style it off the face, if you wanted to take a little claw clip or something, which I totally would do with this. It's one of my favorite things to do with wigs, especially curly ones, and then you get that poof. You can totally do that and it looks amazing. It does have the mono part, but you really can't see it. It's very densely knotted on the top, and then you've got sort of, it's lifted off the cap because of the curl, so you really can't see that mono part. You could pluck it, which again, I've got a Tip Tuesday on that to show you how to make the part more visible. I personally wouldn't do that with this. It's curly hair. How many people who have curly hair can you see their part lines? I mean, that's not common. And so I think it's really realistic, really realistic. So I love it. I think it's beautiful. I am a huge fan of this wig. So let me show you turn. I will get outside so you can see this outside. I also have an out of the box. She did have just a little bit of box hair. I sprayed her with water, shook her out, scrunched her up, hung her upside down, my standard, and that was all she needed. I have no product in her. I have not combed her. I will not comb this wig. I do not recommend combing a wig with these kind of curls. You'll relax them and you may frizz them. At the most, I would do some light finger combing on the top layers. That would be probably the most I would ever do with this one. I just love it. I think the curls are beautiful. So let me put turn on for you here so you can see turn. Now, this one's brand new. Turn is not. I have worn turn a few times. So that does impact how they'll compare. You know, this is going to relax a little bit over time. I haven't worn turn a ton though. But I think you'll be able to see right from the very beginning. She's been living in her box for a while. I did take her out and fluff her up and stuff for the pictures, but I think you'll be able to see right from the beginning what I mean by that's got this rounded look, and turn is more big on the sides. I think Amor Mono has more of a symmetrical structure to the roundness, if that makes sense. And this one, you know, she's a little bit flatter on the top and then she poofs out. I also think these curls are a little bit more disorganized. I think Amor Mono's curls are a little bit more uniform. My personal preference, I like more uniformity in my curls and waves. I don't particularly love deconstructed curl and wave patterns where they're crazy and kind of all over the place. That's just not my favorite look personally. And so I gravitate more towards that one and the uniformity of it and the roundness of it than turn if I'm comparing them. And turn is a little bit, so the fronts are just different. You know, turn has more of a split here, whereas Amor wants to do more of the bang thing. It's hard to describe, you guys. I took the pictures before I even filmed the video, and then I put the collage together even before, because I was having a lot of trouble going back and forth and looking in the mirror and trying to determine how to describe the differences, and I needed to see them actually myself side by side. And those are the things I noticed. I also went on to try to find measurements to see how they measure. I could not find any measurements for Amor. None. And while I could take a tape measure and try to measure them myself, my problem with doing that in a comparison is I don't know when they measured this, if they measured her when she was curly, when she was straight. You know, there's so many variables. So what I'll tell you is from my eye, their lengths appear to be nearly identical. Their weights appear to be nearly identical. The amount of permatease, all of those things appear to be nearly identical. I think the biggest difference is this curl pattern and how it lays, and how this one is just a lot more wild and deconstructed and not quite as round than the other one. That's the difference that I'm seeing. So if you have turn and you struggle with anything about turn, but you like the length, you just wish the curl were different, Amor might have the curl pattern that you're looking for. Or if you just kind of like this style in general and you like them both, you feel like I could do either one of them, look at the colors. Maybe they come in some different colors and one or the other has the color you'd rather have. Or maybe one's on sale and one's not. When I compared the prices on the Continental Wigs website, Turn was a little cheaper than Amore Mono. I'm not sure why, because the cap construction's the same. So I really don't know why Amore would be a little bit more expensive, but it was just slightly more expensive than Turn. So let me put it back on. And I'll tell you guys, as I'm feeling right this minute, if I had to, could only keep one of these and I had to choose, I would choose this one. I really would. I like this curl pattern better. I like the more round versus the flat and then kind of poofing out at the sides. Partly that's my face shape. I don't really need more help this way, you know? So I just think she's adorable. I think she would look cute with headbands. I didn't bring any in with me, but headbands, clips. Again, look at my Tip Tuesday videos. I have one that shows how to reduce poof in a wig just using claw clips. If you want desperately to love a hairstyle like this, but you're not ready, take some claw clips and just clip down some of the curls. You will find that will lower the profile and make it more wearable for you. And that's one huge tip where you can work your way up to a wig that's got some volume like this. This one is definitely big hair. It's not a lot of hair. It's low density. Ellen Villa typically is low density. Lightweight fibers, wispy fibers, not a lot of permatease, but it has quite a bit of curl, and the structure of the curl makes it feel like it's poofy and a little bit big. And so again, that will relax over time, but you can do some things to mitigate that if you eventually want to get to this. I like it so much, so much. So stick around for that outside look at this color and let me know if you have questions. Thank you, Continental Wigs, again. I'm so blessed to be able to partner with you guys, and I appreciate you so much sending this wig so I would show everybody, and we all now have another option. All right, let's get outside. Hey, my friends, we're outside now with hot mocha rooted. You can probably hear some dogs fighting because there's two people walking their dogs. And the dogs are greeting each other. Well, they're not fighting. I don't know what they're doing. They're greeting each other, but anyway. I don't know if you can hear that. Hot mocha mix. Let's focus on what we're talking about here. Hot mocha rooted is what we're talking about. Okay, here we go. It's super, super sunny, so I'm really tucked up against my house more than typical to try to get you this shady look, and then we'll walk out into the sun. I'm loving this shade, like loving. I can't stress enough how beautiful this shade is. It's natural, it's auburn, it's kind of a light medium. It's not like blonde or too blonde. I love the rooting, really perfect rooting. Oh gosh, you guys, it's like heaven out here right now. It's been so freezing. It's just been kind of a miserable last couple of weeks. And it's just gorgeous. This is one of those happy to be alive days. Seriously. Okay, where can I get some more shade? Let's walk over here. I know the sun can be helpful, but it can also really distort. Here we go. The rooting just gives it enough darkness that it's kind of a good contrast. All right, I hope this helped. If you were really struggling, I know color's just a challenge, but hot mocha rooted, really beautiful. Nice subtle auburn, not super red, not orangey, just super pretty. Let me know if you have questions. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. I'll talk to you soon. All right, everyone, here I am with your out of the box for Amor Mono, or Amor Mono. Might have that name wrong, but anyway, here we go. So this is out of the box. I've done nothing to her but take her tag off of her. I have not shaken her out or anything. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got a cute style that doesn't have too terrible of box hair. You know, wigs will all need some sort of arranging, almost all out of the box. I've rarely gotten a wig that I could put on, do a couple of sweeps, and it was fine. So let's shake her out a little bit. So before I shake her out though, I know if you're here, then you're curious about the out of the box and you're maybe still struggling, because if you're an experienced wig wearer, you probably didn't stick around for this part of the video. And so let's just talk about that for a little bit. You get a wig out of the box, you don't know what to do. You're not sure, you can't shake her out, you can't really mess around too much with her, you can't change the part, none of those things if you might return the wig. So you're in kind of a dilemma at this point, what to do. And so I've got a couple of words of advice for you. First of all, this gets easier with experience. It's much more difficult in the beginning. Second of all, you may need to consider whether or not you can set aside some of your budget for mistakes and for learning, because you can always try to resell a wig on some of the Facebook resale groups or on eBay or Mercari, any of those websites on you know, if you're not on Facebook, I have some things on my website. I have a blog post about trustworthy places to buy wigs, where I also talk a little bit about how you might sell them as well. So that could be something. You're not likely to make your money back if you do that though, unless you got a really killer deal, like you found it on clearance and they had a coupon as well or something. So just keep that in mind. Most people aren't willing to buy secondary market even at, you know, 30% off. They're looking more for 40 or 50% off, but that's an option for you. So keep that in mind. You know, the other thing is start learning how to work with wigs so you can make them your own. So watch my Tip Tuesday videos, because I show lots of different things you can do with wigs. And so you may decide you're going to thin it or trim it or just wear it with accessories. Accessories can do wonders to make wigs look good. Take steam to it if the bangs in the front aren't working for you. There's lots of modifications, from the simplest, which is just an accessory that's not permanent, all the way to thinning, trimming, and steaming, and even steaming more curling. So just please know that if you get to this point, you don't have to return every single wig because you're so uncertain if it's gonna work out for you. So now what you would wanna do, let's say you've decided you're gonna take the leap, I'm not gonna return it, then you're gonna shake it. All wigs need to be shaken out. How you shake it out depends on the wig. For a curly wig, for a mid-length and shorter curly wig, vigorous shaking, you know, I put my fingers through the weft so that it doesn't fly off my hand, and I just shake. You can hold it by the tag or the nape and just do some tosses. You're really trying to wake the fibers up, get the curl kind of woken up. If there is permatease, shake it off the cap. All of those things. Longer wigs, you want to be a little more careful with shaking. I'd probably do more tosses than shakes because you don't want to cause a whole lot of tangles. So then you're going to put her back on, and then you're going to see kind of what you have and did that help. Now, she's not going to stay like this, but that helped a ton. You can see it really gave her volume, and that's the name of the game right now. Get some volume, get her off the cap, wake up those fibers. Now, with curly wigs, what I will often do is take a spray bottle, and you can pick one up at the dollar store if you don't have one, and I spray the fibers with just plain water. You can use distilled water, tap water, whatever you want. And then I do some scrunching once I spray. So I'll take her off, I'll spray her, depending on how much box hair, how wonky the curls look, any of those kinds of things, I might soak her. I have done that a couple of times. I don't normally need to soak a wig in water, but you can, it doesn't hurt it. But you can spray it. I usually take it upside down, spray it all over, do lots of scrunching with curly and wavy wigs. Then I hang them by the tag. I have designated a towel rack in my bathroom for this. I have laundry hooks that I use. They're linked in my Amazon store, which is linked in the description. And then I just let it hang, maybe for a few hours or for however many days until I can get back to it. And then at that point, gravity has really helped wake those fibers up. So then you really, really know what you have. So now with the rest of the video that you've already watched, I will have shown you that final outcome. And you know, at that point, then you know, do I need to do more drastic measures or not? This one is cute out of the box. Really cute. Like I could spray her down with some water, do some scrunching. I might not even need to. I have fiber in my eyes right now. A wayward curl, I think. I might not even need to really leave her hanging for very long at all. This one could be wearable even yet today because she does look really cute out of the box. So there you have it, the out of the box. Not a big deal on this one at all. Thanks for watching.